Good day everyone, Mr. Cargill here with our next AutoCAD drawing. So for this drawing we're going to be looking at orthographic projection. Alright, so what is orthographic projection? Orthographic projection is a type of pictorial drawing, but unlike drawings like oblique projection or isometric projection where you will be seeing different views at once, alright, different views like this here, this isometric projection here, you're seeing like the front view of this object here, you're seeing the top, which is the plan view, and you're also seeing the side, which is the end view. You're seeing all of those on the one drawing like that, all together as one. For orthographic drawing, the different views are separated. All right, so for orthographic drawing, the views are like this. We have what we call the front elevation, or FE for short, front elevation, and then we have the plan view, which is what you see when you're looking down, and then you have the end elevation, or EE, which is what you see when you are looking from one of the sides. So in this drawing right here, this would be the plan view, what you see when you're looking down. So the top here, that would be the plan view. The front view would be this section here, because this is the front, and then this is the side here, so that would be the end elevation or the end view. All right, so for that, this here shows a next example. All right, so this is a triangular prism. Now when you're looking down on the prism like this, what you're going to be seeing is the triangle right there. So you'll be seeing the triangle. All right, so if you're to draw the plan view, then you will just draw the triangle, because that is what you're going to be seeing when you're looking down. All right, then you have the front view. This right here says the front elevation. So when you're looking from the front, from here, you're going to see that right there. All right, it's going to look like that rectangle. And then this here is the end elevation, or the side view. So when you're looking from that side, you would see that. All right, our next example before we get into any drawing is this one right here. So if you're looking down on the prism like this, the prism is on its side in this drawing. All right, so the prism is on its side. So when you're looking down, what you'll be seeing is this thing right here. It would look like two rectangles. The rectangle over this side and the rectangle over that side, and you would see that line in the middle. So when you're looking at it from above, it would look like that. All right, this is the front elevation. If you're looking at it from the front like that, it's going to look like just a rectangle, because you'll just be seeing that rectangle. And if you're looking at it from the end or from the side, you're going to see the triangle. So it would look like that. All right, so this is isometric and all the views are attached, but in orthographic, the views are separated. Now, as it relates to orthographic projection, we have two types of orthographic projection. We have first angle projection and we have third angle projection. So for this video, we're going to focus on first angle projection. Now, what do we mean by first angle or third angle projection? For orthographic drawing, we have different angles at which we draw at, all right, or different types of orthographic drawing. So when we talk about front elevation, sorry, not front elevation, when we talk about first angle projection, what we mean is that for this specific projection, all right, we will have the front elevation at the top of the drawing. Good. So the front elevation would be at the top, and then the plan view, which is what you're going to see when you're looking down, would be below the front elevation. So let's recap that. For first angle projection, the front elevation is going to be at the top, and then the plan view is going to be below the front elevation. All right, so what about the end view? The end view is always going to be beside the front elevation. So the plan view is always going to be by itself, and the end view is always going to be beside the front elevation. Now for first angle projection, all right, the end view, if you're drawing the right end of an orthographic projection, if you're drawing the right side, it will be on the left of the front elevation. So let me just say that again, because I know that it might sound confusing. So for first angle projection, what you'll have at the top is the front elevation. Then below that, you'll have the plan. And then you will have the right end elevation over the left side of the front. Or if you're drawing the left end elevation, it will be to the right side of the front elevation. Now, if that sounds confusing, no worries. I'm going to go through a first angle projection drawing right now so that you can understand more of what I'm saying. So it's like this right here. All right. So this is the front elevation. This is in first angle. All right. So this is the front elevation here, and then below that you have the plan, and then this over here is the left side of the drawing, but it's projected on the right side. So like here, this is looking from the left, so you're looking from the left, and it will be projected on the right side. All right. So that is first angle. All right. So now we are going to go into a drawing. We also have the projection symbol, but we look at that after we have finished the drawing. So for this drawing here, this isometric drawing, we are going to do this drawing in orthographic, in first angle orthographic projection. All right. So to do that, first thing, we need these measurements. So this here is 200. So we're going to start with the let's start with the front view. Let's start with the front view. So for the front view, it says that this here is 100. All right. And this is 50. So we know that this is 100 and this is 50. Okay. This is 100. Good. And that's 100 and this is 50 as well, which means that this is also 50 and this is also 100. So how do you know what's the front view, what's the end view? Normally there would be an arrow that points to say that this is the front view, so you know where the front view is. But if not, just by looking at the drawing, you can tell where would be the front. Because if you're just looking at this drawing, you can tell that, well, this looks like it would be the front and this would just be a side. All right, over here would just be a side and this would be the front. So if there's not an arrow to say that this is the front, then you can just look at the drawing and you can identify, you know, where would be the front of the drawing. All right, so this is our front elevation and we're going to start with this right here. So we start with this 150. All right, good. So let's do that. So let me just select a line and I'm going to start a little bit over here. All right, so let me turn on ortho. All right, so I just choose a place to start and I'm going to draw this line. Hold on, let me select white instead of green. Nice. All right, so I'm going to start over here. So this is going to be 100. Then this is going to be 50. 100. I could have just used a rectangle 100 by 50 also. And then that's 50. Now, what is this? What does this represent? What does this rectangle here represent? What that represents is this part here. All right. Because if I'm looking at this from the front, all right, I'm seeing this. All right. So I'll start there. So now I need to get this line here, because if I'm looking from the front, I'm going to be seeing this line here, right? And I'm also going to be seeing this line right here, and I'll also be seeing this other rectangle over the other side. So now that I have that and I know that this is 100, I can draw this. All right, so let's do that. So I'm going to draw this 100. Wait, okay, yeah, so there. Yeah, so let me draw this 100. All right, and then this over here is also 100. All right, so again, what those two lines represent are these two lines, this one here and that one there. Looking from the front, I'll be seeing those two lines. Then I'll be seeing this over here also. Being that this and this, they are the same, I can just draw this over here, or I can copy this from here and bring it over this side, which I think is what I'll do, since that is easier. I can just copy these 4 lines here from this point here and bring them over to that point. And that is my front view done. All right, that is my front view done. So that's my front elevation. All right, so that's my front elevation, because if I'm looking from the front, all I'll be seeing is this rectangle here. I'll be seeing here as well. That looks like square in the middle, this part. I'll be seeing that. I'll be seeing over here. All right, so that's my front elevation. That's what I would see when I'm looking from the front of this drawing right here. Now, with that done, I can start my plan view. So to start my plan view, before I start my plan view, I'm going to have what I call my XY line, which is just like a view plane. All right, so it's like right over here, like over here, where they have their different, this view plane here. So this is the plane, this is the front view plane, this is the side view plane, and this is the this is what you see, this is like where the plan is. All right, so I'm going to draw this little line right here. All right, I'm going to draw that line, and that's what we call an XY line. All right, so the XY line, the distance from the front elevation to the XY line, there's not really a specific distance, but you just have to ensure that the distance from the front elevation to the XY line is the same as the distance from the XY line to the plan view. That sounds confusing, no worries, I'll explain that as I go through the drawing. So for this one, I'm going to put the XY line about 10 millimeters away from the about 10 millimeters away from the front elevation. I'm going to select a gray line because I'm going to be using that as a construction line, and I'm going to just draw this down by 10 millimeters. All right, and then I'm going to extend it over like that. All right, so you see I drew this down by 10 and I extend it out like that. Now I'm going to go like this and extend this line over here, no specific distance. I'm also going to extend it over here, no specific distance. All right, let me just delete this here. All right, no, I didn't have to draw this line down here. I could have just put my cursor here and then just move my cursor down and then type 10 without clicking anything, and then I could start drawing my line from there. All right, so I didn't have to draw that little piece of the line. No, so I have my XY line. So I'm just going to label that line XY. Let me select a text. Right. So let's call this X. Let me change the color before I make it a brighter color, about yellow. All right, so now it's kind of small, so I can make it bigger, about twice as big by just highlighting it, clicking scale right here. So if I click scale and I click on the drawing, I'm going to reference it. No, I'm going to make it twice as large, so I'm going to type 2, enter. I know it's twice as large. All right, good. So I'm going to move that now over to my drawing. So I'm just going to click on that and select move, and I'm going to bring it over here. I'm just turn off ortho. So this is my XY line. All right, so that's X, and I'm just copy it and bring it over here. I'm just turn on back ortho and call it Y over this side. All right, so let me just change the value of this and call it Y. Nice. So then I have my XY line. Now I'm going to start. I'm going to start my plan view below the elevation down here. Good. All right, so to do that, first things first, I'm going to bring down all these lines here, all of them. I'm going to bring these lines down. For right now, there are no specific distance, no specific length right now. All right, I'm just bringing down all of these lines, no specific length. So just like that, I brought down all of those lines. Now, over here, good, over here, this is the plan view. So this is what I'll see when I'm looking down. So the first thing I need is this distance, all right, this distance, like the width of the plan view, because I already have the length. The length is from here to here, which is the same distance as from this line to that line, which we already brought down from the front elevation. So we already brought down that line and this line, so we know the length of the front. So what we need now is the width, and it says here that the width is 50. So what I'm going to do is I can just offset my XY line by 50, all right, or I could just come down here and start a line down here by 50. So other than offsetting my XY line by 50, this is what I could have done. Select a line. Could have come to this point here. Not click anything. Just move my cursor down. Type 50. And then I could draw my line down here. That would be 50 millimeters from the XY line. All right. Or I can click on the XY line. I can just select offset or type offset. It says specify offset distance 50. So it's offset by 50. So there we have it. All right. So I don't need these down here, so I can trim out that. All right, so I can just trim out all of these lines down here. I type in TR, enter, and then trimming all of those. All right. And if you want to avoid trimming, if you don't want to have to trim them, you can just offset the XY line first, so that when you bring these lines down, you can just tap at this line here. No, so I have that. So on my plan view, what am I seeing? I'm seeing this little indentation right here, so I have to represent that. When I'm looking down, I'll be seeing this, so I'll have to represent that. No, it says that this is 50 and it says that this is 30. All right, from here to here is 30, so we know that. All right, so what we have to do now is we have to draw that line there at 30 millimeters from here to represent that. So I could offset that line by 30 up like that, or I could just come over here, select a line, put my cursor here and just move it up slightly, and without clicking anything I just type 30, press enter. All right, and for some reason that keeps snapping over there, so I'm just going to offset. I'm just going to type offset. I'm going to select 30, enter, and I'm going to offset this up here by 30. All right, so we can trim out what we don't need here. So I can trim out these here, trim out these two pieces at a time. No, for the plan view, all right, we have what we need for the plan view, but we need to highlight that. So for the plan view, what we'll be seeing, so I'm going to trim out what I don't need. I'm going to trim out here, and I'm going to trim out here. I'll also trim here, and I will trim here, and I'll also trim out that section there. I'm just trimming off this little piece right here and over here as well. No, why did I do all that trimming? This is why. When I'm looking down, this is what I'm seeing. This little thing right here. This green, this is just the dimension. So this is not part of the drawing, really, it's just the dimension. So what I'll be seeing is that thing that it looks like, you know, those old cell phones, kind of. It has that shape. All right. So it has that shape. Not cell phone, but house phone. All right. So this is the shape that we will have right here. So that's how I know that this is the parts that I won't trim out. So now, since this would be an actual part of the drawing here, let me just highlight these parts and make them make these white lines. Let me not make this one white line. Let me just make this, that, and that white lines. All right, and then let me do this. Let me just select a white line and do this. I'm just highlighting these. So this would be the equivalent of, you know, using a darker pencil to brighten your drawings if you were doing this manually. All right, so that's my front view. Sorry, that's my plan view. So that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking down. Oh my gosh, I forgot to offset the plan view by 10 millimeters. All right, so this is, you see the plan view actually started on the XY line because I forgot to offset it by 10 millimeters. So that is no problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this XY line here, and I'm going to offset that by 10 millimeters. And I'm going to bring it down here. So now I'm going to select the drawing. I'm going to select all the lines on the drawing like this. All right, and I'm going to move this from here, and I'm going to bring it down to that point. Good. So now I can delete this line that I just drew. All right, so before I had said that the XY line, the distance from the front elevation to the XY line, there is no specific distance. You just have to ensure that the distance from the front elevation to the XY line is the same as the distance from the plan view to the XY line. All right, So yeah, now you would understand that better. So this is 10 millimeters, so this is also 10 millimeters. All right, good. So when you're doing your drawing, after you do your front elevation and you offset by 10 or whatever to get the XY line, then you offset by the same amount, and then that is where you would start your plan view, which is what I should have done. All right, so that's my plan view right there. So now I want the end view, this end view here. And remember, this is first angle projection. And I had said that when you are doing a first angle projection for the end elevation, if you're going to be drawing the right side, which is what we're going to be doing, we're drawing the right elevation or the right end elevation for this isometric figure. So because it's the right side, it has to be to the left of the plan, because if we're looking at it from here, it will be projected on a plane over here. All right, so this is the right side, but in first angle, it's going to be represented on the left side of the plan. So this, sorry, not the plan, of the front elevation, my bad, the left side of the front elevation. So this is the front elevation, all right, which means that our line is going to be somewhere over here. To find exactly where that point would be, all right, since we have our XY line here, from here to here is 10, then you have to draw a next line over here that we will call X1, Y1, and that is going to be the same 10 millimeters across over here. All right, so what I can do is, let me just select a construction line. Can just select a construction line from here, can bring this over by 10, and then bring that up. Right now, no specific distance, I'm just bringing this up. Wait, was that not offset by 10? Okay. All right, let me just do this again. Here we go, so that's my point there. And then I bring that up. Good, lovely. Now, that line there would be what I would call my X1, Y1 line. Let me just copy this X here. Let me turn off ortho. Bring this over here. This is going to be my X1, Y1 line. All right, so let me just bring this here. Let me just call this Y1. All right. So this is my X1, Y1 line. Now, where X1 meets, where X1, Y1 meets XY, which is right here. The two lines meet each other right here. So this is the XY line and this is the X1, Y1 line. So from there, we're going to draw a 45-degree line. So I'm just going to turn on polar tracking. Click on the drop down arrow beside polar tracking here, and I'm going to set this at 45. I'm just going to click right here. It says 45, 90, 130. I'm going to click there. I'm going to come here now, and I'm going to draw this line. And where you see that green line, that will tell me that that is 45 degrees. I'll roll 135. All right, so I'll draw that line there. All right, and then from there, this is what I'm going to do. Very simple. I'm going to bring these lines across to meet the 45-degree line. Let me just bring them across like this. I'll bring them just a little bit past the 45-degree line, so like that. All right, and bring this one across like that as well. Good. Now, what we're going to do is, where these lines that I bring across, where they meet the 45-degree line at those intersections, I'm just turning on ortho. I'm going to bring them up from where they meet the 45-degree line. All right. So I'm going to bring them up from where they meet the 45-degree line. So I'm going to bring them up like that. All right, and I'm going to bring them, this one up here as well. Good, nice. All right, so what I'm going to do now, right over here, so after I bring these lines up, then these lines here, this one here, this point, I'm going to bring that over there. Then here, I'm going to bring this over here. All right, I might have been going a bit fast, so let me just do a quick recap. All I did was all of these edges, I would bring them across. I don't have to bring across this edge because this edge lines up with this edge. All right, so it's the same point. So I just need to bring across this one. I don't, this edge here is the same as this, so I'll just bring across that. This edge is the same as this, just bring across that. All right, over here we have this edge, we bring it across, it's the same as that and that and that, because they're on the same like line right here, same horizontal line, so I just bring across that. Same thing for at the top, bring across at this point because it's the same as that. They're all on the same horizontal line. All right, so now we have our end view, our end elevation. All we have to do is to brighten. All right, so let me just select a white line. So if we were to brighten here, so it says that this here is the 30, is the 50, and then this is 100, which means that this is also 100. All right, so here, this is where this part comes from right here, there. This is where this part starts here, and then it comes up. So I know that I would start, since this is the where my plan view starts right here, and then it meets the 45-degree line and it goes up. So I know that if this is where the plan view starts and it meets the 45-degree line there, and then it goes up to this point here, then this is where the end elevation would start there, and I want to bring it up to right here. All right, right at the top there, bring it all the way back over here, back to that point there, and then there. All right, and that's my end elevation. So now let me just let's just double check to ensure that that's correct, and we can do that by using utilities, measure and distance. So from here to here is 100, right? So that means that this should be 100 also, and that is indeed 100. And then this distance from here to here is 50. That means that from over here, all right, from here to here should also be 50, and it is 50. All right, good. All right, so you can always just you know, check to ensure that everything is correct. So here we have our front elevation, we have our plan view, and we have our end elevation. So as you can see, you're looking from the front elevation, that is what you see right there. You're looking from above, this is what you will see right here. If you're looking from the right side, this is what you will see right here. And it is first angle orthographic projection. So the right side we put to the left of the front elevation. Now we have one thing that is left for us to do. We have to draw the projection symbol. All right, we have different symbols that represent first angle or third angle. For now we're just focusing on first angle projection. So because we're focusing on first angle projection, right here, this is the projection symbol. All right, we're going to draw the first angle projection symbol. What's the reason for drawing the projection symbol? It tells the person who is doing the drawing that this is in first angle. So if it's something that they're going to make, all right, then they know the angle that it is in, so they know how it should be assembled. So let's draw this projection symbol. All right, so to draw the projection symbol, this is what you have. To draw the projection symbol right now, the measurements, there are no specific measurements to that right now. All right, so there are no specific measurements when you're drawing like the projection symbols and stuff like that. However, the proportions are to be correct. So we start with a circle, start with just 2 circles. All right, let me just make this circle about 20. Oh, 20 looks good. And then we have to draw next circle with the same center, just like here, like there. We have 2 circles. All right, so that one was 20, so we can make the next one about 15 or 10. I think 10 looks good. Let me see. 10 looks like that is, I think that was like 1 or something. All right, so let's draw a circle from the same center as this circle. So from this same center. All right, and let's make that radius 10. Good, so there we have our 2 circles. One is 20, one is 10. So what we're going to do now is we're going to project these out like that from the quadrants. So you're going to ensure that in Object Snap you have quadrant turned on. All right, and I'm going to project these out like this, project this out like that, and I'll just choose any random place to start. So I'll choose like I'll start like right here. All right, and I'll just choose the next place to end. I'm just extend this. I just started right there, so all I did was extended the line and just choose a random place to start. So I'll start right there, and I'll just choose a random place to end. I'll end like, I can end like right there, any random place. So I have two lines, there and there. Distance, no specific measurement. So now I'm just going to draw a line from this point here, all right, to this point right here. Then I'm going to draw a line from this point here to that point right there. So I'm going to, let me trim out certain things that I don't need. Let me just trim off this point and this point and this point here, and all these points. All right, so now I'm going to brighten what I need, which is this line here is going to be a white line, that is going to be a white line, that is going to be a white line. Let me just make these white lines, and then let me just do this. All right, so now I don't really need this part over here. I can trim out this, just trim this, and I can trim that here and there. All right, so that would be my first angle projection symbol, but I do need one more thing, probably two more things. All right, I need a line going through the center, and that line is going to be a center line. So to select a center line, I'm going to come over here where it says by layer. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on other. I'm going to click on load, and I'm going to scroll until I see center, okay. Then I'm going to click on center here and click on okay. Let me just ensure that I'm on center line. Yeah, I'm going to select center there. Good. So then I'm going to draw the center line. So I'm going to find the center of the circle here, and I'm going to draw that center line there, and I'm just going to extend it downwards as well, no specific distance. And then I'm going to draw the center line that goes through the center of the circle like this as well. All right, and then I'm just going to click on that and extend it out like that. Good. So that is my projection symbol. Let me just move it a bit closer to the drawing. All right, so that's my projection symbol. So if I give somebody this, they know that it's supposed to look like that, based on the fact that the drawing is set like this, and this tells them that it is in first angle orthographic projection. So for the next class, what I'm going to do for the next video, I'm going to do a third angle projection drawing, and then I'm going to draw the third angle projection symbol, and then I am also going to start looking at how you represent hidden details in orthographic projection. All right. Oh, speaking of hidden details, I forgot one thing about this drawing. When you're looking from the side, here, you will have this thing here. All right, so you have this line here. There'll also be a line right here that we're not seeing right now. All right, just like you have this line on this side, there's one over this side here, but we're not seeing it. And because we're not seeing it, we have to still represent that it's there, but we have to use a broken line. All right, you have to use a broken line. So this point right here represents this point right here, because there's a line here going down, but we're looking from here, so we're not seeing it, but it's there, so we have to represent it in broken lines. So we do that by doing this. Just like how I selected center line here, I'm going to go to other, and I'm going to select load. I'm going to select ISO dash and okay. Let me just select ISO dash okay. Let me see over here. Let me just change this from center to ISO dash here. So this here is going to be a broken line, a solid broken line. So like that. Good. All right. So that's a broken line there. And that now officially completes our drawing. Yes, I know I forgot some because I wanted to ensure that this had at least one broken line so that I could start that from the first video. All right, so now this completes our drawing. So if I give somebody this, they can complete this and they know that it's supposed to look like this. If they were to draw this in isometric, they would know that it's supposed to look like this, based on the fact that it's in a first angle, and this is the front elevation, the plan view, and the end elevation. All right, I know that this video was a lot. If there are any questions, anything that you're not clear about, you can ask in the comment section below, and you can also ask about any videos that you would want me to do. All right, so thank you very much for watching, and do have yourselves a wonderful day.